And so, roughly about a year, about a year and a half ago, AJ and I started talking about like figuring out how could we develop a partnership of some type between our two organizations. And today we want to share more of that work. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to AJ to walk you through Scale.
Yeah, hi everyone. So as y'all said in the introduction, AJ Siegel, I am a proud parent of a kindergartner at Dressel. We were, a little bit about me, just for the sake of intros. I retired from the Marines about 18 months ago, and my family and I moved here to St. Louis to start working at Scale. And we were actually really excited to move into the Lindbergh School District. This was really our first choice for where we wanted to live, for this exact reason, because of how forward-thinking this school district is and the quality of schools here. So really excited and honored to present to all of you today. What I'm gonna, I recognize we have a hard stop, so I'm gonna try and speed through slides, but if anyone wants to drop an anchor anywhere, please let me know. I'm happy to go deep on anything or follow up just for the sake of time. So I'm gonna run through a little bit about Scale, why we're here, why we're in St. Louis in the first place, and that's just to kind of level set a little bit on what we do and a little bit more about us. So, next slide, please. Thank you. So our Scale's mission overall as a company is to develop reliable AI systems for the world's most important decisions. I'll talk about it in a minute, but our company spans a wide range of activities and in the AI world, in AI sector. So if you go to the next slide, please, and one more. Thanks. So to again break down AI a little bit, because a lot of people hear AI and they think like ChatGPT, and that's like the first thing they may think of, or AI is just the thing that makes your Facebook show you like one person's post after another. I want to take a moment to just go into what we see as kind of the three pillars of AI and the foundations that make it up. So I'm going to work from bottom to top because it's the easiest way to go. On the bottom, you have compute. And so within these three pillars, compute is probably the one that you hear of a lot when you hear of NVIDIA, where they've kind of cornered the market on compute. The next one you hear is algorithms. Algorithms, more commonly known algorithms these days are your large language models, ChatGPT, Anthropic, et cetera. The reason why when you ask those algorithms a question, they give you the answers that you're looking for is because they are all being fed by high quality data sets. And the majority of those high quality data sets that go into the large language models that we deal with today, as well as a lot of computer vision models out there, the autonomous vehicles, is because those high quality data sets actually come out of Scale AI. Next slide. So we started in San Francisco. We're San Francisco based, founded in 2016. Sometime I'll tell you all of the funny story about how this company was founded, but the bottom line is at this point, very high valuation, over 1,000 employees worldwide, including here in St. Louis, where we have an AI center. Next slide, please. This really breaks down into the three different categories that Scale covers. We've been powering every AI innovation since 2016. We began, working in autonomous vehicles, but now the main part of our business focuses on model building. Like I said, everything from Anthropic to OpenAI, working with NVIDIA, everything that's a frontier AI model is being fed by Scale AI's data. We have our enterprise, which means working with businesses and helping businesses to get more responsive answers to the large language models that they apply to them. And then lastly, which is what we do here in St. Louis, which is the government side, we have a public sector side of our business that supports a national security mission to make sure that when the government asks questions to their models, they actually get the answers they're looking for. Next slide. So here's why we're in Missouri, and this is why I'm here with you all today. So in August 2022, we moved our AI center to downtown St. Louis. We actually 2 weeks ago opened up in the Post building in downtown St. Louis, which is really exciting. We have brought more than 200 jobs to downtown. I think we're up near 250 right now. And out of our AI center, we deliver to customers from autonomy to GeoInt and generative AI. So we have everything from folks who are really good at visualizing objects and seeing things to folks that are really good at writing. It's like jobs for people who have art degrees and people who are English majors. A little bit about our workforce. I'm really proud of the team that we've built here. We have over 200 workforce members. We've built career growth pathways here. Within those career growth pathways, we actually even have partnerships with University of Missouri St. Louis, Webster University, a lot of different partnerships that we've worked through in the local area here to help our folks earn certificates towards geospatial information systems or earn undergraduate certificates towards technical writing. We have unclassified and classified work to be able to answer some of our country's most challenging AI solutions that exist. About 20% of us are veterans, and a number of them have been granted security clearances. Breaking down just a little bit further, just about our workforce that exists here in St. Louis, geospatial workforce and a writing workforce is what we have. So these are two very disparate skill sets, but in the end, they're both committed to supporting our mission, which is to accelerate the U.S. government's adoption of AI. So more importantly, let's talk a little about the AI literacy work and how that applies to you all today. So SCALE, as part of the White House's executive order to increase fluency for grades K to 12, was looking for a place to go and to start off to launch our program. And we decided that the place to be was actually here in Lindbergh. We've made a significant commitment in Missouri, and as the person who is the senior representative for SCALE in St. Louis, I was personally bought in on working with Lindbergh and advising and assisting with the program here and partnering, because I felt like that was a really, for me it's important, but also, like I said, personally I know that there's the forward-thinking mindset here in the school system, and I'm really excited to see that. So here's everything we've committed to within our personal commitment or professional commitment here. And there's a lot of things that we have, but the most important thing again is that working with all of you and working with Colin every single day to help advise and assist with the actual with your all's execution of your AI plan. And I think that's really good. And we've talked to Colin. We've been working with Colin for a while just to scope this out, and I think you guys are well ahead of others, and I'm really excited to be able to apply that and see how far we can take it.
So in the partnership, we've got 4 of these really big topics to take a look at today, and we're going to dive into the next steps to really show you how we can bring this to life. So during phase 1, our focus is going to be creating a micro-credential. Think of a micro-credential as a small certification that we say at the end of it, we can say with absolute certainty that people have these skills and knowledge at the end. We're going to pull out just 2 pieces here. One of them is, let's look at the very first one, the know. So looking at what is AI, and AJ was referencing a lot about what AI is, but helping our staff know and understand really what this means and be able to talk with it and understand it to a level of authority. And then we're going to jump down to, let's say, build, and looking at how do we help our staff understand and build out workflows. So how do we take an idea and be able to be safe and secure within, if there's any data in there, how to work with that and be able to then act upon that and make real change in the classroom. So speaking of real change.
Sorry, Colin, real quick. So the micro-credential would be for staff?
Staff.
Okay.
Yeah, staff. Thank you so much. To take a look at this, we're going to take a look at schoolai just for a brief section. We're going to look at 2 student examples and 1 teacher example, just to give you kind of a round out this picture. So if you look at this one, if you can zoom, or if you could see into the text here, it's going to be talking about one specific student, Jenny Cole. Let me restate. There was a teacher, Jenny Cole, who made this space for one specific student in her elementary. So if you look, it's a student who speaks primarily Vietnamese, and so there was a communication barrier, and he is in 4th grade. So trying to figure out, what does he know exactly within the curriculum? So we have had other tools in the past, but what makes this different is we're able to add the exact curriculum that the student is working on. Not only will it will translate into Vietnamese, but it will speak to him, and he can speak back to it in Vietnamese and be able to have that communication. And then Jenny is able to see it in English to understand exactly where that student is. One of the benefits too is, well, that's nice for school, but the student then can take the iPad home and be able to have his parents help him out with the particular curriculum because it's able to speak to them in their home language. And on the next slide, we're going to see Patty Thomas made a really impressive AI space for ancient Egypt. So they're studying ancient Egypt. They've already gone into a space before, and on the left you'll see what the teacher sees, and the right is what the students are seeing. So they've taken a deep dive into ancient Egypt, but what this space will do, now they have to do something with it. They have to prove that they know the understanding of the ancient Egypt to a high degree, so they're making something physical. So if you look here, it'll get them into having a 3 to 4 minute conversation around like, okay, so what are you thinking about around ancient Egypt? Now let's go deeper and have a 3 or 4 minute conversation to really target what you're going to make, what you're going to develop. If you look at all those documents on the far left-hand side, those are all the standards that the students have learned during that particular unit. And on the right-hand side, you're going to see that the AI is helping them think through their project. And I talked to Patty tonight, and she said she's never had such diverse projects come up before, because before everybody wanted to either make a pyramid or one other project, and now it's very diverse there's things from makeup to sports to board games. It's very, very deep. So their level of understanding is going deeper because of this one tool. And if we look on the next slide, we're going to see this is the teacher part that I have talked about before, but going very deep into being able to tune this AI for specific teacher needs. So there's about 12 AI tools built in that are tuned for teachers around everything from research assistant to co-teacher. And what they've been able to do on the top side is be able to talk to the AI to say, this is how many students I have, these are the devices, a little bit about themselves. And then on the bottom is how do you want the AI to respond to you when you ask it questions. So it could be a data analysis expert, it could be a PLC partner or an instructional coach. And what's been coming out from that has been exceptionally beneficial to teachers and their next steps in the classroom. And on the next step, we're talking about another phase of this. If we look here, we're going to go deeper into the classroom, helping staff understand how to better address the student need when it comes to AI and the AI fundamentals. We can kind of take a little bit of a look at that right now, what's happening in the AP research and I always forget the other one, the research and the seminar classes is we're diving deep into with a lot of the AI fundamentals, but be able to take that much deeper into all the classes across the district. And at this point, we would like to ask, at our very brief, keeping with almost in the time frame to end at 5:30, what questions might you have?
Would you be interested in hosting some students as an apprenticeship next year? I'm just joking.
Although I'm sure we will get there.
I was just sitting here listening like, that's so cool. That'd be so cool.
So I love all of this. I think that one thing about our district that is so great is that we can see something new coming and either be afraid of it or figure out how it can help us do our jobs better and put our students forward and give them an edge. And so I think this is great. What I'm a little unclear on is what are the roles and responsibilities between Scale, between Colin, and between the actual software that we're using?
Okay, so let's go back to the micro-credential. So what we've been working with AJ and AV at Scale is, let's go into the very first phase, or the very first piece of the micro-credential. So we're looking at what is AI. So Scale, we've been talking to them, having an engineer describe in a very short, like say TikTok length, video about what is machine learning, and then another video about really what is AI, what is bad data versus good data, what is safety and security. So helping them fill out our curriculum within the micro-credential. So that would be an example.
And do you have an idea of what teachers, like what it means for them to have this micro-credential? Like what will they do with it? How will it help kind of build who they are as a teacher, not just with...
So some of the questions they've had, while they understand what they've done up to this point, like I've been using AI for, say, prompting or creating some resources, but some of it is like, what can I do where am I going to grow to, what's coming next. I need help and support. I need something structured, because some of it is we're learning bits and pieces as we go, but it's not necessarily structured. Very similar to like if we took an English 1, 2, 3, and 4, where it's structured to get you to a higher degree. And that's what staff have been asking for, is like, how do we move forward? Because we have some of the basic skills, we have bits and pieces, but also how do I make sure that what I'm doing is aligning to the district goals, also to keep my data safe and secure. So those are some of the things that staff have been looking for to help them grow to the next level. But also I think that certification piece is something that just isn't out there. And so having something like that in your back pocket, so if it's going for maybe another job or a promotion to assistant principal or another role, here, but also in other districts, having something like, I have this certification and here's the skills and knowledge that I have and I can prove it, is definitely worthwhile. And I also, go ahead.
No, I was just going to point out, so I had a meeting this morning, a tech roundtable with the president of the Fed Reserve. And one of the things that he pointed out was that a lot of their data that they're collecting right now is indicating that organizations that accept and train on AI are noticing or observing like far more success because they've figured out how to work it into their workflows. So the goal of any micro-credential that you all do for your teachers is going to be, and honestly, any students, because those folks are going to be AI natives that, probably none of us in this room are ever going to understand how crazy it's going to be for them going forward. And so the sooner we can figure out and help to teach any of these students, you all can teach any of these students how to integrate AI and what in their workflows they should use AI for and what they actually can't trust AI for, and how they can actually, like, where they need to be critical of the answer AI is giving them and how to think critically. That's very important. And I think that the micro-credential that Colin is proposing and planning for is a great first start. And to answer the first question as well, like, I mean, really, like, the greatest thing about this is, like, you all now have a Silicon Valley tech company that's ready, to answer that will answer the phone and dedicate resources to answer any questions you all may have. And we've done a ton of studies. If anyone goes to scale.com, there's a ton of studies on like AI safety. And we just actually did very recently a study on something called Tutor Bench, which is a study that's basically, how successful can AI be as a tutor in certain subjects? And the answer is actually most of the frontier models, this is good news for your teachers, most of the frontier models that are out there right now actually were only like 50% to 60% successful. And as they challenge them, they actually start to give up because the models don't do well when they're bullied. And so, like, whereas teachers do have a much thicker skin. And so, like, I would just say, like, these are the kinds of studies that we're doing every single day out of Scale AI, working with some of the leading model providers and some of the leading AI companies. And those engineers that wrote that study were on the phone with us, like 2 days with our Scale AI literacy team 2 days ago, saying we'd love to present, we'd love to help film something, we would love to be part of this. And that's the true benefit.
I mean, I think the partnership really gets at the heart of, I don't want to simplify it, is you're going to help build the capacity of the adults in our organization so they then can take those skills and transfer those to our students in the classroom.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But the data that we're putting into School AI is curriculum and things that our teachers have written. That's not anything that School
Correct.
AI has anything to do with.
Yeah.
This is all our stuff. They're just helping with the professional learning piece and understanding of what that is. So.
We have no access to your data.
Are you prepared to train teachers and not the Department of Defense? I think there might be a difference.
You say that. A much higher intelligence level of the teachers is what it, but no. I think the thing I would point out is that, like I showed on that slide, and again, it was very fast, but like, what we do here in St. Louis is based on creating data sets to provide to the Department of Defense. But sitting here as well, we have software engineers that have 20 plus years of experience, came out of Boeing, wanted to be part of Scale, came to us, field engineers that have worked all around the world. So we have people that are here in St. Louis resident to us, as well as the ability, everyone else is a Zoom call away. So I would just say, like, I have the utmost faith and confidence in their ability to teach people. But I think really in the end, my confidence is in Colin and all of you to create the right program. And we're just here to help. And, we're the engineers on call. Of course, I'm not an engineer, to be very clear, but there are engineers on call to help out and answer questions without having to get into your all's data and just follow what your all's intent is and work with you all on that.
Safe to say also a layer of security for us or protection, because compliance is going to start happening and things are going to change, but also, is that a layer as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I'd say is we're here to help you think through some of the harder questions that may come from using AI and integrating into the workflows.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.